love, unity, civilization, and total chaos.
Shot on camera too, aren't we? There we are, look at us. You're watching dvtv Live. My name is Rich.
I'm Jeannie.
Hi. It's the end of the global agreement. 195 countries signed on to the Paris Accord. Today, one country, maybe the biggest polluter in the world, actually backed out. Do we have tomorrow's Daily News headline? Let's show that one. It's not as iconic as the one from Ford to City. No, it's the one before that. It says, drop dead. That's right, Trump to world, drop dead. That's what Trump did today. He got us out of the Paris Accord. 7 years in the making.
That's like Obama's entire term.
Yeah. 195 countries. It was one of the major achievements of Obama's term, especially working with this many countries. And it was an agreement between the two world's biggest polluters, the United States and China. They both announced, we both announced that we had ratified this thing on the same day. That's how global an agreement this was. And that's what Trump threw under the bus today.
Did you hear about that today at 3 o'clock? I mean, his speech?
I saw most of it, yeah, I'm afraid.
And
it was
I'm just
pretty
like,
absurd.
I'm watching this speech and I'm like, who wrote your speech? Barron?
It was a lot.
I mean, it was that bad.
It was a lot of off the cuff, and he said a lot of ridiculous things. One of the outrageous things he said was, well, we can renegotiate. Like, okay, 7 years in the making, 195 countries, that's nothing. We can renegotiate that. Bullshit, you can't renegotiate. You're not supposed to renegotiate. That's the problem.
You just stay in it.
That's like, the thing with an agreement.
But what, I mean, the thing is, what does this do politically except have a lot of people disrespect you?
Yeah.
Like, this kind of thing was for the good of the world.
That's nothing new to Trump. He doesn't want the rest of the world to respect him. He wants his base, his 35%, to be thrilled with him. And that's who he did this for. This is the pity of it, because, you know, his grandchildren will get lung cancer walking, won't be drinking fresh water, get lung cancer walking to school, yet he did this for no good reason other than to entertain his base voters.
But
that's 35% out there.
They're all stupid.
Yes, they are stupid, but they're behind him. They love him because he does this type of thing.
But why? What's so great about coal mining? That's not even a career. That's like,
oh my God,
that's like a last resort job. I would rather go work at McDonald's and have hopefully be manager one day. That sounds like a better career path than coal mining.
And a lot healthier.
If you choose not to eat the food, yes.
Yes, and if you choose not. That's what I couldn't believe about Obama today. He was talking about Trump today. He was talking about reopening a coal mine, how this is a big deal. Well, guess what, Trump? There are twice as many jobs in solar energy as there are, correct, in coal right now. Twice as many jobs. Coal is a dying industry. What is he going to do?
Shut down Silicon Valley solar energy engineering projects?
Well,
yeah, I don't think so.
Elon Musk backed out of his his advisory. He was part of the business science advisory panel to the president. He got the hell out of that. The chairman of Goldman Sachs called this a terrible decision. You know, Rex Tillerson, his Secretary of State. And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's so outrageous because he did this for purely political reasons for a small section of the United States that happens to adhere to his views, and for a few corporations. A lot more corporations are for this accord and for working for this accord. They have to work with other nations. And that was the whole point of this.
You know, it's crazy which countries have managed to sign this. There's so many, all of Africa except for Syria, obviously.
Yeah. Well, Syria's in the Mideast.
Libya,
It's Syria is not now a signee to this accord. The United States and Nicaragua. And I heard on the news yesterday that Nicaragua wouldn't agree to it because it didn't go so far. It didn't go far enough. I'm not sure about that, but it says a lot that we're in a very small boat with Nicaragua and Syria.
That's something Syria and the U.S. have in common. And you know what's even sadder about this? A lot of the countries that have signed this are in their own political, environmental upheaval, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And these are like people in countries that don't have irrigation systems that have signed this.
Yes.
They don't have irrigation systems. People still walk 1,000 feet to get to the well.
Now, many of those countries, however, will feel the worst effects of global warming first because of rising sea levels. Over the next 50 years, the whole geography and economy of the world is going to change because certain places, and New York City is certainly one of them, certain places may be underwater in the next 50 years.
Well,
remember Hurricane Sandy and Avenue B. There were cars floating on Avenue B and Avenue C and Avenue D. Why? Because the Hudson or the East River rose a few feet. That was a couple of feet. That wasn't much, but it was enough. That storm pushed it over the edge. They called it the storm of the century, but then again, Cuomo said something very smart.
What?
He said we're having a storm of the century every 2 years now, which is true.
Because he has a clue.
He has
about
a clue, yes.
environmental. I mean, you know, I wonder what Al Gore has to say about this publicly.
Well,
I can't wait to hear that.
He said something 2 weeks ago, but
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Gore, my God. But I can't believe Trump is actually pushing his new coal mine. That is insane.
Was he going to have Trump coal mine digging for diamonds?
Yeah, it's not diamonds yet. We're far away from, a couple of million years away from diamonds.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The rest of the world, one of the things he said was, the world will not laugh at us anymore. The world
is laughing at us.
Yes.
I bet you Angola is laughing at us right now.
Now that implies, his statement implies that the world was laughing at us because of the Paris Accord. No, the world admired us and admired Obama for getting all those nations together, getting an agreement where nobody else had before. The reason the world is laughing at us because we have a clown for president. Who does not, he went to Europe and basically in the, NATO's new house, he called them deadbeats, pay up, and he would not even pay any lip service to the Article 5, which is the basis of NATO,
that was like
which
last
says
week.
if one of us is attacked, all of us is attacked, and guess what? The only time Article 5 was ever put into effect was September 11th. September 11th, that happened once. They did it once for the United States. Trump couldn't even acknowledge that. And that's the crazy thing. So the leader of the free world is now Emmanuel Macron. Because he's the one,
France.
The one who, and nothing wrong with Macron, nothing wrong with France, but it just irks me. My nationalistic ass is irked by the fact that I am calling the leader of the free world,
Emmanuel Macron,
the president of France, not even the much despised president of the United States, because he dropped the ball. He went to Saudi Arabia. Did he raise any human rights issues? No, he made deals.
I don't think Bush even raised any human rights issues.
But Laura was on him.
Oh, Laura was on.
Laura was kind of Bush's conscience.
Okay, because I'm thinking oil money.
Oil money, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
but Bush was cognizant of it. Trump doesn't care, and the rest of the world is snickering and laughing at him.
But you can't laugh at Saudi Arabia's human rights issues. It's just Sharia law.
No, it's not a laughing.
It's Sharia law, though. The country's operated like that before the U.S. was even a thing.
Right, yeah.
So I guess
it's been up to traditionally it's been up to the State Department and the President of the United States to call them out for it. Did he? No. He just made huge deals over there. So,
when it comes to Saudi Arabia, I don't know. I feel like you can't. It's just one of those things that's their culture.
Yeah,
And
it's been like
really
that
hard.
for a long
yeah,
time.
it's just
so.
you can't really like.
I don't have a solution to that. They are backwards. However, not only have we taken second place to France as the French president as the leader of the free world, guess what?
What?
Now that we're out of the Paris Accord, China and India will lead the world in fighting global warming.
Oh,
China
China,
and India.
smog city.
How does that suit all the Trump people out there? How does that suit you? Give us a call. We do have phone numbers here. 212-757-1493. Is that it?
1393.
Yes. 1393. Thank you so much. It's been so long. 212-757-1393. Esther in the control room keeping us honest out here. Give us a call tonight if you agree or disagree with our misalignment with the Paris Accord.
Yeah, no, Rich, you know what I want to do? I want to get a bunch of different clips of Angela Merkel's face.
Oh God!
Every time like Trump says something. Like, can you imagine just? We should find a video of her just like all her facial expressions, like just her like.
I've seen a couple of compilations like that.
And then you could be like, me and Angela are great friends, and it's just like, you know,
yeah. And Trump like spent a lot of time saying that, you know, that Germany should be more responsible and it should take care of itself. Angela Merkel came out early this week and said just that, and it pissed Trump off. But you know what pissed Trump off even more? Let's show the image, Esther. Do we have that image of Miss Kathy? Is it Kathy Griffin or Kathy Griffith?
Kathy Griffin.
Griffin, yes. All right.
Oh, God.
Here is the image that outraged Republicans and other people from coast to coast. They had a lot to say about this. They said she should be tarred and feathered. They said she should be fired. She should be banned from the United States. Blah, blah, blah. They had a lot to say about this image. Can we show the next image in the sequence, please? Yeah. They didn't say a thing about this kind of image that was floating around for 8 years. Now, there was a big fuss made about, well, what if Barron Trump sees his father like that? Hey,
Sasha and Malia. They were young kids.
And millions of other young African-American kids had to see this about the first African-American president. They had to see...
let's show the next one, which is
show
terrible.
the next one, burning in effigy. And this was not an isolated incident. This was common to see lynchings, staged lynchings of Barack Obama.
Where do you see that?
Basically at Tea Party rallies, but throughout the South. And look at that. That's right in front of a church. There's the cross of Christ right behind that image.
It looks like something that goes on in North Korea.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Christians actually endorsed this and had this on their front lawn, okay? Yeah, we've seen enough of that disgusting image. So I bring this up not to praise Kathy Griffith, whatever her name is. She lost her gig at CNN. She lost some other sponsorship. I don't know what it was. Her manager and her agents got on her as soon as this came out and said, go out there, apologize, or apologize big, or you're off to
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried, thank you. Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried bill. That's where your career is going to end up. And it still may.
I feel like if she knew that this was going to happen, she probably should have gone to her agent and manager and be like, what do you think of this? And they should have just told her, that's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea,
and everything would have been hunky-dory. But it looks like...
It got her in the headlines again. That may be the...
Maybe she didn't want life on the D list anymore.
On the D list anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, so
her life was kind of on the D list for a while. But you know what? It looks like President Trump has a new female comedian to spar with.
Yeah, he does.
Because him and Rosie O'Donnell finally agree on something to fire Comey.
To fire
and now
Comey,
that they agree, I bet they're great friends now.
Now, speaking of comedians, okay, this was issued Monday by White House spokesperson Hope Hicks, and I had to do a double or triple take about this. Is this out of North Korea? Is this out of Moscow? Where is this? Please.
President Trump has a magnetic personality and exudes positive energy, which is infectious to those around him. He has an unparalleled ability to communicate with people, whether he is speaking to a room of 3 or an arena of 30,000. He has built great relationships throughout his life and treats everyone with respect. He is a brilliant man with a great sense of humor and has an amazing ability to make people feel special and aspire to be more than they even thought possible.
Now that sounds like a self-written Wikipedia page for a cult leader, okay? And this is coming out of the White House. Somebody is paid taxpayer money.
God.
She's 27 years old. She has no experience in government, no experience in public relationships. Nobody knows how she got the job. There's all kinds of rumors flying about her and Trump. Who knows? But this is what your tax money.
I feel like even Little Miss Huckabee could do a better job than this.
Yeah, she absolutely could. She absolutely could. And this is the thing. I'm thinking that they're living,
Huckabee.
you know, I've spoken about us living in a bubble in New York and being disconnected from the rest of the country.
They're disconnected from the world, and
Yes,
they have like the best intelligence.
The White House is a bubble, and they're living in their own reality show, and they don't realize the consequences, or they really don't care. Now, Trump doesn't care if he starts World War III because he thinks, oh, there's a bunker, and I can go in there with some hot models and my kids and survive the war and be king of the world. He does not care. He does not care about anything. He doesn't care about the environment. He doesn't care about anybody else's children besides his own. He doesn't really care about anything except for himself.
I can't believe
And that is a bad place for the United States
and the
to
thing
be.
is, like, he has decent people around him-ish, but he doesn't listen to any of them. He doesn't even listen to Tillerson. He doesn't, and you know,
Do you remember how there was talk about Kushner and Ivanka being the adults in the room, the reasonable voices that will keep him presidential? Remember all that talk?
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Hasn't happened.
Well, Kushner is under investigation, so is Nigel Farage.
Oh, Nigel Farage, yeah. I know, yeah.
Weren't they like best friends?
No, I don't know. I don't think they
funny.
can subpoena Nigel Farage. I think he can stay. He can keep his.
Yeah, but I think his own parliament's probably gonna run. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what position. I don't know what position he is in the government
Vote
anymore.
Labor Party.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, wrong country.
Wrong country. Yeah.
Vote Labor.
Yeah.
That just offend a whole country.
Now, did you hear this song? She's a liar. She's a liar. It's
No, by who?
#1 in London, and I don't know. I'll have to point it out to you later because I don't have the clip. But it's been banned on the BBC, and it's #1. Another in a long string of things long string of hits that get banned and turn #1. The last one was somebody put out a version of Ding Dong the Witch is Dead when Margaret Thatcher died. And it was #1 even though they could not play it on the BBC.
Oh, well, yeah, because it's taxpayer funded, and they have like a high clause of morality.
It's not exactly taxpayer funded. It's you pay for a license there. It's a weird system.
What it's basically funded through because they force you to.
It is a weird system, but it's not. At least it is not. It's not controlled by the government.
Yeah. It's not.
Which is good. And it's always been independent, and that's what makes it a fairly decent news and entertainment service.
And they have a very high clause of morality there.
Yeah, and
it's like no joke.
High production values too.
Oh yeah, of course.
High production
I mean, that's
values,
why
which they've always had. Yeah.
That's why they even kicked Russell Brand out, you know, a few years ago when he had some indecency issues, you know. So, like, if you do anything like that, like what is that? Like that Opie and Anthony BS where they had sex in the church.
Right.
Like they fire you on the spot and fine you.
They fine you, yeah.
Yeah, they will fine you.
Mm-hmm. Well, the FCC fines people here, but they didn't. They didn't. Colbert got away with it. They ruled that him saying that Trump's mouth is Putin's cock holster was not indecent, not obscene.
Cock holster, like that means like a gun thing, right?
It means he gives Putin blowjobs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But that was not ruled obscene by the FCC. Great, so they didn't have to pay a penny fine on that. As Colbert says, he has the nuclear codes, I have jokes. It's a fair fight. So I'm glad he won. I'm glad he won that fight. But anybody who going to work for the government, put up that career suicide thing, because there's nobody who wants to work. Well, first of all, nobody wants the FBI director job. Certainly nobody wants the job of communications director at the White House.
Is that like under Sean Spicer?
No, it's Sean Spicer answers to the guy, Dubkey, that you never heard of, that just quit this week.
Oh.
But it's a thankless job, and nobody wants that job. Nobody really wants to be associated with the Trump administration. As the headline said, it's considered career suicide. That's the worst thing you can do with your career if your career is in the government right now. And there's a lot of qualified people who are just like sitting it out and like saying, no, I don't want this thankless job. I don't want to work for this madman. He is crazy. And who knows who's going to get thrown under the bus next. I'm surprised Sean Spicer is still there. He has a thankless job, but
poor guy. I actually kind of feel sorry for him.
I almost feel sorry for him, but he only has to please one person.
Trump.
Yeah, he's not there to serve the public. He's not there to serve the government. He's there to make his boss happy, and that's it. And they're talking about doing away with daily press briefings.
Oh yeah, did you realize that they don't show Sean Spicer anymore?
Well, he
camera?
has gaggles now. Sometimes it's in front of the camera. Sometimes, if there's no cameras allowed, it's a gaggle, and it might be in the hallway, might be in the press office.
Because they don't even do them anymore because they don't want it. He doesn't want his, body language analyzed. You know what I mean?
They do not want to. They definitely do not want to release the information. And this is all bad information. They don't want to let it out.
Yeah.
Of course not. They want everybody to ignore what they're doing so they can go about without criticism, without any attention, without any scrutiny from anybody. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, they're getting scrutiny from the FBI, the CIA, and the rest of the world. Rest of the world governments.
It's not just American intelligence. I'm sure other foreign intelligences are also looking into this as well.
Well, what about that dossier by, is it Michael Steele, or he has a real secret agent type name, but that was a British guy working. He originally started working on that for the Democrats. And then, I don't know if it went to the highest bidder, but he sold the information eventually to the FBI and the American the American intelligence community. And Comey is going to, 1 week from today,
testify live.
Comey will have testified.
Yeah.
And he may tell us about firsthand knowledge of obstruction of justice coming from, we know he's going to get asked that question.
Oh, of
Did
course.
Trump try to get you to quash the investigation?
Of course.
Career suicide. Did we show that? I thought we had shown that.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, yes. Then what did we show before? I'm squinting at this production monitor. We have a little tiny monitor there. Now, the big monitor behind us we use as a set
prop.
piece. Right. And the little monitor I can see over there, I can't really see.
Yeah.
So I have to take everybody's word in the control room that we showed stuff. Yes, let's show the death knell thing. And I'm not even sure what this refers to, but this, let me just walk up and read it. Yes, America's global leadership. As I was saying before, this is very bad for America and very embarrassing for us. We should be embarrassed as citizens of this country. This was once a great country. It was never perfect. Always had problems, and I've been long in this studio and in the streets with my fist in the air and protesting a lot of things I see wrong with this country. One of the things that's right with this country is that you can protest. That is becoming questionable. There's a lot of legislation in different states that's being passed to quell the protest. Arrest protesters, charge them with
Really?
horrible trespassing because that pipeline, mainly because that pipeline.
But that's also, he's anti-environment. That's why he's doing it.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons that there's a lot of legislation out there. Fortunately, not in New York, but there's a lot of legislation out there that seeks to criminalize free speech. That is dangerous. That is fascist. Fascist is a word that's used far too loosely, but that is fascist legislation and should not stand in the United States, should not be stood for anywhere. I don't care where it is in the flyover zone.
Honestly, it's gotten so embarrassing that there's some parts of Canada, remote Canada, where the people are more sane and they just give out like permanent citizenship and like job visas like candy.
Oh yeah, well,
we should
homesteading.
like, we should like move, Rich. We should move to Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I've been to Nova Scotia. It's lovely out there.
Nova Scotia?
I don't know if I could stand
We should
it
go
out
to
there.
Saskatchewan.
I've been a lifelong Manhattanite. Could I live out in the wilderness? I don't know.
You don't want to go to Saskatchewan?
No, I haven't been to Saskatchewan. I've been to Nova Scotia.
I almost went
Big
to
jellyfish up
Saskatchewan.
in Nova Scotia.
Oh, really?
Like pizza-sized jellyfish.
Ooh.
I was a little kid and I'm out on the beach and the beach is kind of rocky. And I thought it was some kind of plastic industrial waste there were all these purplish discs. And then I went to walk on them and they're kind of squishy and I couldn't figure out what the hell they were. And then I asked somebody and they said, oh no, they're jellyfish. I was like, what?
Oh my
Those
God,
big
how old
things
were
are
you?
jellyfish? I was like 10 years old.
Oh, your mom didn't tell you like
No,
you could get stung and we'd have to go to
they weren't floating. They were on the rocks. They washed up on the beach.
They dead?
I knew what I had gotten stung by jellyfish before because I'd been to Florida, but they were all dead. They were all washed up, and I was like, oh my God. So that's my memory of Nova Scotia. Very strange memory. But you say they're homesteading out there, huh?
Well, you could do that.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Stories.
No, I'm sure it is.
We could just go to some like Yukon Territory BS and become citizens of Canada in a few years.
Well, it's tempting.
We could start our own public access station and own that shit.
Yeah, well, what would we do every Thursday night? You know,
That's true.
We get our iPhone and like,
yeah, I know, right?
hello world, are you watching?
No, it's just so embarrassing. Like I thought about going to South Korea. I got that visa.
Right.
I got that visa. It's useless because they're going through their own turmoil right now.
Right.
So it's just kind of like.
So we got 30 seconds left. What do we want to say? I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Adjoa and Pepsi and Esther. And who else is in the control room? That's it. They're rolling the credits now. Perfect timing, guys. Okay, we may or may not be back next week.
Yes.
We haven't decided yet, okay? But tune in next week. You'll either see an interesting repeat or you'll see us. Until then, this is Rich.
And Jeannie. Bye.
Good night. Good news.